Some agents will risk their license for anything. Some agents will convince you to work with them when they've already been hired by the seller's agent to have their best interests at heart. All right, let's get started here. All my growth in this business has been in a high contact situation, in person. It's really hard to grow from the couch or the bedroom, right? And so I'd encourage you guys to get into this office. Role playing is all about getting uncomfortable. I'm gonna continue here to go through it. What we're doing here is buyer, online lead, Zillow, realtor, whatever. I'm the agent, Lee's the buyer, right? So, hi Lee, this is Byron with William Ravis. I'm a Zillow Premier agent. Zillow connected us. I see that you want to see 123 Main Street tomorrow at 4:30. Is there any other properties that you want to tour, or is that the only one?
Yeah, there was actually two more, but I don't have them right in front of me, but I can send them over.
Absolutely. I'll get working on confirming this for tomorrow at 4:30. When you find those two properties, send them over to me. I have your text and email as yes and Y. Are those accurate?
Yeah.
What's the best place for me to confirm these appointments with you? Is it text or email?
I'd say text.
Great. I'm going to send you the text on the confirmation. You can text me back those two properties once you find them. If I come across any other properties that fit your criteria, would you also like to see those?
Yeah, if I have more time that day, I'd be more than happy to see more than less.
Great. So how much time are we carving out after the 4:30 appointment? Do you have 90 minutes? Do you have 2 hours? What do you have for time after the first tour?
Say about 90 minutes.
About 90 minutes. Great. So I'll do a little research on my end. If you find those two properties, send them to me. We'll get a few properties on the tour so that you have some comparables. Sound fair?
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. Lee, that'll be coming over to you shortly. By the way, before I let you go, I've got a couple of forms I'm going to need to send to you before we start our home tour. Now, have you toured any homes with other agents in the past?
Nah, just hitting open houses and looking on Zillow.
Just looking on Zillow. Great. So this will be your first private tour of homes that you've identified that you like.
Yeah, with me and a real agent, yeah.
Absolutely. And hey, Zillow wouldn't have connected you with me if I wasn't that real agent to serve you in this community. So what I'm going to be sending over to you is two forms. They're going to be attached together. One is an mandatory agency disclosure form. That explains our relationship, the seller relationship with their agent who holds their best interests. That'll be a more informational sheet. The next sheet is our representation sheet. That's the one that you're going to need to sign. That explains how our working relationship just on these properties that we're touring tomorrow works. So when you get a chance, e-sign that. That's our ability to actually go into these people's homes and take a tour. Sound good?
Yeah, so you're saying there's no way for me to see the house without signing that form first?
No, have you heard of any of the changes recently about touring homes and how real estate agency works?
Heard a little bit of chatter around, but nobody's really said too much.
Yeah, what have you read or heard about?
Just heard that 6% commission ain't happening anymore, and I got to sign a form.
Lee, were you planning on paying 6% commission coming into this deal?
Not too sure. I don't know exactly what the going rate is.
Nobody's really taken the time to explain to you about how commissions are and always have been negotiable?
Nah.
How about we do this? The form that I'm sending over to you is just going to explain the relationship for these properties. So you're going to have the ability to see the properties that you want to see tomorrow. And that's most important right now, right, is getting in these homes?
Yeah, I really want to see that one on Main Street.
Great. So let's get you into that home. And since you've got 90 minutes after the tour, let's save about 15 or 20 minutes of that so I can further explain to you how this works in the future. You'll have all the information that you need, and then you can make a decision if you'd like to hire me as your agent. At least you'll have the information to do that. Or if it's not the fit for you, you can move on and start touring homes with other agents. Sound fair?
Yeah, sounds good.
Great. I'm going to get these confirmed. I'm going to get that paperwork over to you. I'll meet you tomorrow at 4:30. Hopefully we'll have 2 or 3 to tour, and then we'll have some time to talk about how agency works at a more detailed level.
Sounds good.
Awesome, Lee. I'll see you tomorrow. The text will be coming over shortly. Boom, boom, boom. We got through it all on the first call. Not always going to happen. Sometimes the consumer is going to want to get off that call, right, Amber? We were talking about that yesterday. The consumer is going to be like, hey, I want off this call. I just want what's most important to me. We don't want to disrupt what's most important to them. Throw an objection that Lee could have asked.
Am I responsible to pay that 6%? Am I signing that I'm going to pay you?
Amber, great question. And I expect you to have questions because I haven't given you enough information to really know how this all works. So the form that I'm sending over to you explains who pays who for these couple of properties. Now what we're seeing today in our MLS, and I want to explain this further when we get to sit down and go over the entire picture. What we're seeing right now in our MLS is that almost 100% of sellers are offering buyer compensation, which means a seller actually pays the buyer agent's compensation. That's what we're seeing happen right now in the MLS. Now the form that you're going to review says that if the seller were not to pay, there's only one other place that money can really come from. It's through negotiation when we make that offer, asking for the seller to pay, or certainly in a last case scenario, then you and I would work something out, and that's outlined in that form there. Okay, does that make sense right now? I know you probably still don't have all the information you need. And that's why I want to set some time aside tomorrow, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, to go over this in more detail. But this is going to cover you for at least these 2 properties that we're going to tour tomorrow. Does that sound fair? We want to make sure when we're explaining things, we ask the question at the end, hey, does that sound fair? Does that sound good? Does that sound like something we can work with to get through what's most important to you tomorrow, right? When we get somebody on a Zillow call, what's most important to you? Is it seeing this home tomorrow? Yeah, that's why I called Zillow, you freaking bozo. Of course it's most important to me. But great, so now we can continue to go back on that. Hey, what's most important to you is what's most important to me. I want to get you into 123 Main Street. I want to make sure you see the home. This is a formality. By the way, I didn't make the rules. You know, if it were up to me, the rules would be different. Another agent didn't say I had to do this, right? Hey, I get it. Some agents will risk their license for anything. Some agents will convince you to work with them when they've already been hired by the seller's agent to have their best interests at heart. There's a lot of things that are going to happen. I want to explain all those relationships to you. My obligation here with the state of Connecticut is to send you a form that explains it to you. You're not going to be able to get educated on that single form. It's my duty, my obligation to be able to sit down with you and explain it to you further. We'll have coffee after, and I'll get you all that information you need. Sound good? Good. I'm role playing with myself right now.
At BAMX, we listen to what real estate professionals want and need. That's why our platform is filled with sought-after courses, content, and tactical assets for your business. And that's why we launched BAMX in a box with templates and scripts done for you, delivered each Friday. The best part? It's not coming from panel pontificators who bought their followers and don't sell any real estate. It's coming from top agents, team leaders, and content creators in the industry. It's education that actually shows you how to do what you need in today's market. And now it includes editable templates and scripts so you can easily deliver that knowledge to your database. Every day, we continue to add more content into BAMX, into our private Facebook community, content that works, content that our members have exclusive access to daily. Do not wait any longer. Use code Byron and join the thousands of agents taking their business to the next level today. Code Byron for 10% off. I'll see you in BAMX.